Roberts Band on stage with us right now.
How you doing, folks? Nice to be here with you.
Sam Roberts Band live on KGSR from the W, our live morning broadcast, and the new album is Low Fantasy. This record, well, different because it's more rhythmic. It's produced by Youth, who has a long track record, including U2 albums, and it's also different because you had to deal with your children and sort of focus on.
Which is almost impossible. I have 3 kids, all under the age of 7. So it's hard enough to legitimize yourself in the eyes of the world as a musician, but let alone as a father trying to get work done in the basement when your kids are knocking on the door. So it's a miracle this record got made. So.
Do they have any idea who you are and what you do. I mean, and we do this every time we're together, but in one of those sort of weird international phenomena, in Canada, Sam Roberts is a superstar, a stadium act, and then there's the border, and you get here. But I mean, there they
Thank you, Andy.
yeah. But do they know? I mean, do they know who you are?
Yes, they do. I'm a facilitator of their desires. That's happens to them. Anything beyond that, I don't think it's really starting to sink in just yet. Thanks for the border thing, you know. That's every time we played the show 4 times, and every time we're introduced as a new up-and-coming band. So it's like the fountain of youth being up here.
Well, you know, and we actually, Sam's one of the few people I've lived with on a tour bus. We went to Palm Springs and spent a couple of days running around with Rhett Miller of the Old 97s and Greg Finn of the Hold Steady and Oddly Daughtry for it's always Oddly Daughtry, for a Esquire piece a couple years ago. And I think the whole time we were on the bus together, I would say, you know, the border separates. That was fun, and
He likes to drive it home.
Yeah, well, and we all made new friends on that trip. I mean,
We did. We really did. It was one of the most unique experiences I've ever had as a songwriter, as a person, spending time with people you don't know, and then being forced to write music with them is. So I think I'm a bit of a hermit when it comes to songwriting. So to have to work with other people, and venture into the unknown like that was. I was really impressed with what came out of that session. Really.
Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things that everyone walked away with, particularly we had Anthony Hamilton, who's an R&B star, and Daughtry, who's Daughtry. And I think what everyone walked away with was it doesn't matter what kind of music you do, you're all in the same business.
Exactly.
And you have more in common because you're musicians who tour, who have record labels, who have booking agents, than any other 5 people, even though what you and Daughtry do are nothing alike.
No, that's true. But I think you're right that there's a sort of common experience and a common language, vocabulary that you share as people who've grown up playing music, wanting to play music at first, trying to make it happen, and just every one of us in our own way had to go through that process of trying to get that really, really heavy door open, and then to keep it open and hopefully squeak through onto the other side in a career.
Sam's smart enough to live in Montreal instead of Toronto, but we've got to discuss this.
That's a can of worms that, if there are any Canadians out there, I'm not going to go into that really. That's a very political statement that Andy just made. We take it out on the hockey rink, and that's where we do our talking. Yeah.
But, I mean, unfortunately, we think Canada right now, we think Mayor Tom Ford. How crazy is that?
And polar vortex. This is a new thing. We just call it winter. Now it's a polar vortex. It's amazing. And I love how you guys have militarized the weather. It's like the Arctic air mass, polar vortex invades from Canada. It's incredible.
Did you just do that thing where I asked you a question
About politics, and I got away from it? You see how we did that? Yeah.
You just did that thing.
We're very diplomatic up there, up in the north. That's how we've managed to keep our noses clean all these years.
Well, Tom Ford has not kept his
Well,
nose
he's
clean.
doing it for the rest of us.
All right. How about before I get in more trouble, and this way Sam and I remain friends, more music?
Well, fittingly, this is a song about excess. It's called Never Enough. Thank you very much, folks.
The internationally famous